Welcome, Army fans. This is Joe Iacono with GoBlackKnights.com, along with a very special repeat guest here on the podcast, Coach Jeff Monken, head coach of the Army Black Knights. Coach Monken, how we doing this morning? How are things up at West Point?
Very well. Beautiful sunny day here today. So it's a great day at West Point.
Awesome. And give us your kind of synopsis, wrap up of spring ball and how you think things went and what your outlook is for the 2025 season, which is only a couple months away now.
I was really pleased with spring practice. I thought our guys worked hard and we got a lot of training in between the practices. We extended our spring ball out so that we'd get a lot of meeting time, a lot of lifting time during spring practice, and I thought that was important rather than practicing day after day after day like we do in the season. And hopefully that just helped our guys stay a little healthier and fresher as we went through the spring campaign. We had a few injuries, and those are always difficult to see. I hate it for our players that get hurt. They really want to be out there, and particularly guys when they get hurt and it's fairly serious. We had a couple of those, unfortunately, but I thought we came out of spring ball better than where we started, and that's certainly a plus for us. We got a lot of work to do. We're a different team, and we lost some dynamic leaders, some really good players, um, both to graduation and to the portal, and that's just part of college football. So the guys that we've got coming back, I'm really excited about it. We've got some players that have a lot of snaps under their belt and some experience. We got some new guys some young guys that have grown and rising into their sophomore and junior years that maybe haven't played as much, but over the course of the time they're here, they've developed and gotten stronger, and hopefully they'll step up and perform much like the guys that they're replacing. Certainly very pleased with the way we played a year ago for the most part, and hopefully we'll be able to match the intensity and match the performance of last season. So it's hard to tell what this season's going to look like. I'm probably a very poor predictor of what can be or what will be. I think we got a chance to have a good, tough football team and compete, but how we'll perform on Saturdays is all going to be a matter of our training and our studying and just our guys, stepping up and performing on Saturday afternoons. So I'm sure excited about it. I can tell you our players are too. We're all looking forward to it. We got final exams coming up next week, and then our guys will do some summer military training before they return for summer school and summer training, which starts on June the 2nd, and we'll be excited to get those guys back here.
Awesome. And you brought up a lot there that I'll kind of hover over and just ask you some more questions around. I'm going to talk a little bit about the portal since you brought it up. Number one, and this is something maybe that people don't think about when it comes to the portal. And I know, your primary focus and the staff's primary focus and the players' primary focus is on making sure Army doesn't beat Army, right? That's something I've heard from you and plenty of the players over the past couple of years. But how difficult does it make it in prep when you're preparing for a bunch of new players on the other teams a lot of times that you maybe haven't seen before in previous years and how they fit into a team scheme, whether it's UAB or Florida Atlantic or East Carolina or whoever, and they got 7 or 8 new guys in the portal on their defense. How does that affect preparation, if at all?
Personally, I don't put much thought into the new guys that they've got and uh, what they may look like differently than they did a year ago. It's really just a focus on their schemes and the players that they have and how we best defend them or how we best attack them from an offensive standpoint. So uh, I can tell you that I'm far less concerned about the guys that they have that come out of the portal and go to their programs than I am with the guys that leave ours. We fight every day to have a great culture and build relationships and try to keep our guys here. And it's very difficult in this day and age in football and in college sports with now the compensation that's out there for college athletes. It's hard. And so we do the best we can to try to maintain some continuity and develop our guys. And we got a great team. We got a great bunch of guys. They love each other, and it's disappointing when we lose guys, but that's just part of it these days. So hopefully we'll have a good enough football team, as I said, that can be competitive and be tough and and be able to hold up with the teams we're going to play. And I know what an athletic league we are in. That was, very evident with the games that we played a year ago, and the great coaches we've got in this league, and the outstanding talent that's in this league. It's a challenge, and then certainly the academy games and the slugfests that those become every single year. Those are tough games. So we're going to have to be our very best and at our very best, and really develop these guys over the course of the summer and preseason camp to have them ready. And we've got who we've got. Graduation is a part of college football, and now the portal is part of college football. And I don't know that it's a whole lot different for us. Our players have always had the opportunity to leave before their junior year. Um, it's just a lot more incentivized now because of the compensation that's tacked onto it. That had never been the case before, so it makes it probably a bit more challenging in terms of retention. But I'm proud of our guys. We have a group of guys here that really care about each other. There's a commitment to each other in this team, and they've stayed loyal to each other for the most part, and we got a lot of guys coming back. So hopefully that'll be good enough to win some games.
Yeah, coach, what's it like coaching college football in 2025 and what a lot of us call the wild, wild west, where it's just free agency every year, NIL, transfer portal, as you mentioned, the incentives for kids out there are crazy. Do you have an opinion around, should there be some guardrails around some of this, maybe maximize the number of transfers, or I don't know what your take is on all that kind of.
Well, I can't say exactly, that I know what it's like out there in the wild, wild west. I'm certainly not dealing with all of the things.
True.
Um, they got guys leaving and guys coming in, and they're having to deal with agents and money and general managers and uh, just all of it. So there's a lot more to deal with probably at some of the other colleges than there is here. But I think that certainly the coaches are very much in favor of putting some guardrails on the things that are happening right now in college sports. I don't think it's healthy for players to play at five, six, seven different colleges. There's
Yeah.
players that are going to their seventh college. It's not good for players.
No.
Not good for teams. Not good for our game. And what's getting lost is the academic piece. I don't know how you stay
Right.
on the track to graduate when you're at your seventh college. And
Yep.
and so we're all in favor of some guardrails. I think the NCAA is probably in favor of some guardrails. But what's done is done, and how you kind of reel it back in and put a fence around it, I don't know. There's other people that'll deal with that, but we as coaches, as a American Football Coaches Association, have made recommendations to the Football Oversight Committee of the NCAA, and hopefully they'll take those into account. And we want what's best for our players. We want what's best for the game, and that's what we're in it for, is our players, and to develop people, and for the love of this game. And so uh, I think what we do going forward is going to be important, um, in just what is the future of college football? What's the future in college football for our student athletes? And so there will be some guardrails. I think the hope is that the House settlement is putting some guardrails around it anyway, uh, to put a max or a cap on the salary of a particular team or a particular school. But as we're finding out, it's not necessarily capping it like we thought it would. There are still, rosters that are they're probably this fall going to be double that number, and which is
Wow.
it is mind blowing to think that there's schools or teams out there that are paying their players that much money, but it's important to the universities, and it's the most popular sport in
Yep.
the country, and so people want to watch good football, and so do I, and
Right.
so uh, I think it's important that we continue to grow the opportunities for our student athletes, but have some parity, much like the NFL model, have some
Yeah.
parity and that will make the game better. It'll make it more competitive, and it'll make it better for the student athletes. It'll make it better for the
Yep.
school, the programs, if we can do that. So it's probably going to be a process, and it's not going to happen overnight, but I think that everybody wants that and is working toward that.
Awesome. Uh, so, you had one player, one starting corner, Jaden Mays, who did enter the portal and removed his name and decided to stay at West Point, which is great. Talk a little bit about Jaden and what he brings to the defense.
He's a great kid, and obviously he made a lot of plays for us a year ago, and some key interceptions. He's just a hardworking, tough kid. I really, really like him, and um, I think that like a lot of kids, there's the temptation that's out there to explore other opportunities, but think in the end, he just really realized how much he loves the guys that are on this team, and values the opportunity that comes with a West Point degree. And this is a hard place. It's a challenging place. School's not easy. It's easier for some than others, and for some, it's really difficult. Um, but it's designed to be challenging. It's
Yep.
designed to be tough. But over time, that'll beat you up. And
Yep.
you look on the other side, and school's probably easier, and there's a lot more free time, and there's a lot of things that are out there that are tempting. But I think he realized the opportunity to have a degree from West Point, to continue playing with the guys on his team who he loves, to be a starter. He's an established starter. Is going to be a day one starter for us, and to have those opportunities, I think really in the end appealed most to him. So, like I said, it's school's tough, and he's got some challenges academically, but that's okay. And we got a lot of guys like that, and he's going to battle through that, and we're going to give him all the support he needs, and hopefully he'll be out there, like I said, on day one as a starter for us.
Awesome. He definitely wouldn't be the first West Point cadet who's had academic challenges. So, um, we talked a lot about players transferring. You guys had to replace a number of coaches this year in the offseason, as is pretty normal and standard in college football. Matt Drinkle took a head job with Central Michigan, which was a great opportunity for him. Blake Powers went back to high school, and he's a head coach at a high school. And then Sean Cronin went over with Matt to Central Michigan. So talk a little bit about your new coaches and what you have coming in, and how they're gelling with the players so far.
Well, first I'll say I'm so proud of all those guys. For Matt to get the head coaching job at Central Michigan, I mean that's just awesome, and he'll do a great job. He's a tremendous football coach. He's really smart. He's very successful as a head coach, so he's got a pedigree. That it's not his first time doing this and building a program. And then for Coach Cronin to be able to be the defensive coordinator, his first opportunity to do that, it's great for both of those guys, and I'm sure they'll do well. Blake Powers went back to his hometown, his home high school. He's going to get a chance to coach his own sons, as
That's
well as
awesome.
four members of his family, so nephews, that are going to go through that school system. He's going to coach his entire family, and
Cool.
just that's just great for him and his
Yep.
family and the quality of life. So bringing guys in to replace those coaches. We moved Cheston Blackshear from tight ends to O line. He's got an O line background. He just did a great job there this spring with Coach Vitti. And so that's not a new coach, but a new position for him. We brought in Seth Hessness, who has a background with North Dakota State, which was most appealing to us, and he's had several other stops
Mm.
along the way. But really what we're doing in the run game and culturally, we thought he was going to be a really good fit. Really smart football coach, Midwest guy, and so he'll coach the tight ends. Chandler Burks is going to coach the running backs. Chandler was the quarterbacks coach and offensive coordinator at Kennesaw, so he's got
Mm.
obviously a
Production
background in
background.
offense. Played for Coach Worley at
Mm.
Kennesaw. Coach Worley was there, um, and was able to just step in and really kind of feel very much at home in the offense. And then on defense, we hired Alan Smith. Alan has, like many of our defensive assistants that have come through here, has a history with Coach Woody. He coached with Coach Woody at Wofford, and he's just a really high energy, really good teacher, and excited to have him. And his familiarity with Coach Woody and with the defense really made him appealing. So we're excited to have all those guys aboard, and just got to work right away. They went through spring ball, and our kids really responded to all three of those guys.
Awesome. And last question for you, Coach. What do you think the 2025 team really needs to focus on to be successful when they start fall camp in 3 short months, really?
Well, there's a lot of areas where it's important that we focus, but I think really just back to the core of how we build our program, um, doing things that build trust among teammates and among the members of the program. Being committed every day to getting better, whether that's in the weight room or the classroom or doing extra things out on the practice field when you can, and then showing people that they care, and that the other members of this team are important to each individual. That we're doing everything we can to try to make it a great experience and to help the brothers that are on this team with us to win a championship. Don't focus on myself and my own accolades and accomplishments, or trying to win a championship myself. Do the very best I can to help my teammate win a championship. And I think that's kind of the same mantra that our soldiers take when they go to Ranger School. Don't focus on trying to get through Ranger School yourself. Try to help the guy next to you get through Ranger School. And when we focus on others, then it compels us, I think, to do our best because we know that people are relying on us. And I want us to be tough, and I want us to play together, and I want us to play with great effort, and I want us to execute the fundamentals at a really high level. And those are the things that we'll focus on. And if we can do all those things really well, then we'll have an opportunity to be pretty good. And if we
Stuff. Well,
don't,
go
we,
ahead.
if we don't do those things, we're not gonna have a chance to win a single football game.
Right. Absolutely. Well, thanks so much for your time, Coach Monken.
Thanks,
Really
Joe.
appreciate it. Army fans, go ahead and like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Really appreciate the subscriptions are growing. We're super excited. You get great interviews like this with Coach Monken and the whole staff. So without further ado, this is Joe Iacono signing off. Go Army, beat Navy.